Hello, welcome to this lightning talk about family conversations about giving. My name is Sasha Raskin-Yin. I'm the executive director of Amplifier, powered by the Jewish Federations of North America. And in this lightning talk, we're going to walk through how to have conversations with family broadly defined about giving. And we're going to explore everything from quick ways to ask a question at a gathering to full-on activities, workshops that you can have with those who are near and dear to you about how and why you give and how to build values into the experience. We've seen these be truly transformational conversations for people in our world that help to build connections, foster community, and an intergenerational sense of why we contribute to making the world a better place, why we give, and how that's connected to the traditions, the cultures, the religions that nourish and sustain us and bring us together. I will say intentional conversations like those around giving can be a little stressful. Often we want conversations to feel really organic and natural. And a planned conversation, an intentional conversation isn't that, right? It requires some forethought and planning. So there's some inherent tension there. However, the planning is key to a successful conversation. You want to ensure that everyone is engaged and included, and that you meet them where they are when they're coming into the conversation so that it's a collaborative experience from which everyone can take some learning, some growth, some connection. You want to engage people individually and in relationship. Conversations about giving are just one example of the many intentional conversations I'm sure you have had with your family and those around you. And like I said, we've seen them be truly transformational tools for families and other close-knit communities. In this case, throughout this workshop, we're going to define family as broadly as possible. Family is whoever's family for you. And of course, the resources, the tools we'll be sharing, they can be used in many other community contexts as well. So I encourage you to take what is helpful from here and use it in the context with the communities and the people that resonate for you. So let's start by exploring one question, right? The easiest way to start a conversation about giving is to build one question into a gathering where you're already together at a table and already having a conversation. A really easy example of this is Thanksgiving, because many of us already have a tradition of going around the table and asking, what are you grateful for? And building in one question into an existing conversation looks and feels exactly like that. So if you've done that, you have all the skills you need to do this. And so one suggestion here is to ask a question like, mentioning the abundance that you have around the table and asking, what can you be doing to help more people have what they need to thrive, right? If you're doing this at a holiday, you can tie it to the holiday, or you can simply ask it as a question in general, right? You can say, this is something I've been thinking about. And you can start by offering your answer first as a way to ground the experience and model a bit what you're looking for, right? So in your answer, you can connect it to a giving practice you already have, and that'll plant the seed of talking about giving as a piece of this conversation. The other thing that you can do is consider how to take action together, right? So especially with kids in a family context, there's so many gift-giving opportunities that you already have and that you can use to build in conversations, share your values about how and why you give, and invite the next generation to think about giving as a practice of theirs as well. Any gift-giving occasion is an opportunity for this, right? So whether that's a holiday like Christmas or Hanukkah or a birthday, it's a great opportunity to ask the child to also make a gift, right? You're receiving this gift, you have so much. There are those who don't have as much, and how can we share some of this abundance with them? Many of us already do this around holidays like Christmas or Hanukkah, right? Thinking about families that helping to give gifts to other families. And so it's an important opportunity to talk about that explicitly, why it matters, why it's connected to an existing tradition, and to make it an annual practice. That way it becomes easy, and it's something that your children can bring into their own lives as they grow up and begin their own giving practice. The other thing I really like to encourage, and that we at Amplifier think about a lot, is to share values. I didn't introduce this at the top, but Amplifier is a learning lab for experiential philanthropy rooted in Jewish values. We help convene the Jewish Giving Circle movement and offer tools for innovative connection around giving through a Jewish lens. So one of the things that we often talk about is sharing about the values that inform our giving. I know from personal experience that connecting my giving to the teachings of my tradition offer a much deeper entry point. It offers accountability, it offers a sense of community and connection to my giving, right? This isn't something I thought of on my own. It's not something I'm doing adrift on my own. It's something that's connected to a history, to my people, to an authentic tradition. And we all have access to something like that. So I really encourage you in conversations about giving to think about the values and where they come from and to share that with your family or ask that of your family, right? We have so many interfaith, intercultural families, and it's an important opportunity to share what matters to us and learn from others as well. Another way to do this is to share how you learned about giving. Who taught you about giving? What did it look like in practice? What have you held on to that? What have you added to it? Why is it important to you, right? You can also talk about your values abstractly, right? We all, for example, likely believe in the value of dignity, human dignity, but what does that mean to you concretely in practice? Which organization embodies that? And what does that actually look like? And that way you can go from a universal conversation about a value we might all share to talk about something specific and look for either points of commonality or points where you can build together. You may not all agree, you likely don't in a family, and that's okay as well. Amplifier also has tools for deeper conversations about giving. So you can ask a one-off question. You can build in giving to existing opportunities with children where you're already giving gifts and thinking about giving, or you can really have an intentional conversation about how and why you give. So we have two tools for that. One is a family conversation guide, which walks families through a really detailed conversation about how you learned about giving, your values, the impact you want to have, and offers an opportunity to make a gift together. And then we also have a pop-up giving circle, which offers a 90-minute facilitated experience for groups to come together and actually share their values and make a grant together. It's a really fun activity for families to do. It's energizing, and by the end of it, you've actually made a gift, you've done something together. So it's an accomplishment. Our resources, as I mentioned before, offer this all through a Jewish lens, but they're quite easy to adapt. We're happy to help, but you can also just think about what are the values and the traditions that are either universal or you can bring in from your own background or tradition. Whatever kind of conversation you're having, it's really key to think about how you can ensure you can succeed in this, right? Intentional conversations are hard because they require planning, and if no one's involved with you, it's kind of easy to back out. So one of the things I recommend is making sure that you have an accountability system of some sort, right? It can start by just connecting it to an event and letting people know it's going to happen, right? There are holidays. MLK Day is a great holiday to talk about giving and working together to build a better world. You can connect it to a birthday, a family gathering, a reunion. Another great way to help you succeed is to do this with friends or others. So you can bring together a few friends who all want to have conversations about giving. Maybe it's your giving circle and you're all going to commit to going off to your families and having conversations about giving. You'll do it, for example, in the month of July, and then in August at your meeting, you're going to come back and share how it went, right? Help build in some accountability metrics, bring in others to the conversation, and debrief with them after, share how it went. You can do that with a book club, you can do that with your giving circle, you can do that with professional associations, alumni, whatever it is. And then the last thing you can do is actually ask for support. There might be community facilitators, somebody involved in organizations of which you are a part, who can help your family actually have a really deep conversation about giving. Financial advisors can do this as well. So I really encourage you to think about how you can have a conversation with your family about giving, whether that's asking one question at a gathering or sitting down and doing a pop-up giving circle together. Whatever you decide to do, we would love to hear about it, and we have lots of tools to support you. You can download them for free at amplifiergiving.org/resources, and you can contact us through our website. There's a contact us link to ask more, or to ask for help. Thanks so much for listening to this lightning talk, and we look forward to hearing from you. Thanks.